Today, the world celebrates love. Restaurants are full, flowers are sold, messages are sent, photos are posted. But pause. If love is real, why does it need a date? If love is alive, why does it need reminders? And if love is strong, why does one day create so much pressure? Now look carefully. Valentine's Day does not measure love, it measures expectation. Who bought what, who posted what, who received what, who was reminded, who was forgotten. Comparison begins, and where comparison begins, love becomes a trade. A flower becomes proof, a gift becomes evidence, a dinner becomes validation, and without it, doubt. You could love someone deeply for 363 days, miss one day, don't buy flowers, don't post a message, don't say I love you, and suddenly you are on trial. Even when you say I love you, there is expectation that that other person should say I love you back. That is how this word I love you is used. The moment love you is said, now you say love me back. If no one says love you back, you cannot love. This is not love, this is performance. The mind says, if I am chosen, I am worthy. If I am celebrated, I am valued. If I am alone, something is wrong. But love does not come from being chosen. It is not created by attention. It is not strengthened by display. It is not confirmed by social approval. Look at nature. The sun shines, the breath comes. The space allows everything to be. None of them waits for February 14th. That is love. Love, if it is real, is like that. It moves naturally, it does not advertise itself, it does not expect. Now look deeper. Why does this day exist? Because desire and attachment are powerful, and powerful emotions can be commercialized. When love becomes a product, it becomes measurable. When it becomes measurable, it becomes comparable. And when it becomes comparable, it becomes insecure. And insecurity buys more. Even if you are unsure about the relationship, even if you are halfway out of the door, today you are still expected to show up with chocolates, flowers, teddy bears, or gifts. That is not romance. That is obligation wrapped in a red paper. Life is already full of roles to perform. Employee, partner, child, provider. When affection becomes another performance, it adds weight to a mind that is already carrying enough. You may not want to continue, but you still feel required to purchase proof. That is transaction. Notice the quiet fear behind the celebration. Fear of being alone, fear of not being enough, fear of losing someone, fear of not being chosen. Love mixed with fear becomes attachment. Attachment says, stay with me so I feel safe, validate me so I feel whole, choose me so I feel important. But that is not love, that is dependency seeking comfort. Real love does not imprison, it does not demand proof, it does not threaten withdrawal. Real love does not belong to a couple. It does not belong to a day, it does not belong to a culture. It is the same intelligence that allows you to care for a child, to help a stranger, to protect someone without thinking. Valentine's Day is not wrong, but if your happiness rises and falls within it, then something else is running the system. If you feel incomplete without a partner, that is not love missing, that is identity searching. If your happiness depends on gifts, attention, or how someone treats you, then your emotional state is in someone else's hands. That is not freedom. If you feel superior because you are in relationship, that is not love, that is status. Love does not increase your value, you were not lacking before. The danger is not flowers. The danger is believing that affection must be proven. The moment love requires evidence, it becomes fragile. The moment it needs display, it becomes performative. Ask yourself honestly, if no one posted, if no one bought, if no one celebrated, would love disappear? Or would it become simply quiet, private, real? When love is free from comparison, free from transaction, free from ownership, it does not need a holiday. It becomes how you live. Not once a year, but every day without announcement. How many flowers have you bought in your lifetime for how many different forever loves? Where are those loves now? If love can turn into indifference or even hatred, was it love or attachment under conditions? What changes was never unconditional. When love depends on attention, on behavior, on performance, on feeling a certain way, it is not love itself, it is agreement. And when the agreement breaks, the feeling breaks. Real love does not reverse into hatred, it does not expire, it does not become resentment. If every past love began with the same conditions, attention, need, validation, fear of losing, and ended when those conditions shifted, why assume this one is different if the foundation is the same? If you keep building a house on sand, it does not matter how beautiful the walls are, it will sink. If love is built on need, on insecurity, on possession, on beauty, on physical attraction, it will shake when those change. And they will change. Beauty changes, feelings change, bodies change, circumstances change. If the base is unstable, the structure cannot be permanent. So the real question is not, did you buy the flowers? The real question is, what is your love built on? Because when you love someone, you love someone's body, or the way they treat you, or the gifts. So it depends on some conditions. That is why it is conditional love. For example, if someone tells me that I love you and buys me presents, and some lady cooks for me, cleans for me, rings me, and be nice to me, then only I can love her. Because how can I love everyone else? I can only love that one person that you are married to, or you call yourself girlfriend. You cannot love anyone else. So that is conditions. There are conditions in that relationship that you cannot look elsewhere, otherwise that love will break. That is why it's conditional. And it is a trade. I love you, you love me, but that is not love. The unconditional love, it is not from point A to point B. That is not dependent on anyone. That is not dependent on lover or beloved. It is the one and the same. That what cannot be seen, that what says, that which ignites everybody. And when that reveals itself, then it does not love a body. It is not dependent on any conditions. That is unconditional love. And that is your true nature. But you are trapped in these notions, concepts, and unless you free yourself from all these extra burdens, they are not necessary to live. Are they necessary to live? Will your breath stop if someone stop giving you flowers? Will your eyesight will disappear if you have no partner? The life is breathing within, and you are giving importance to everything else, but not to that life itself, whose fault it is that you are troublesome. The moment you set yourself free from all this extra weight, The moment you can come within, look within, and discover what is real, what is called love, not that transactional love. Just like divine, all these words are used, love is also a word for the same. No one person can love another, because every person that you have loved so far, finished, gone. It is conditional. Even your parents expect something from you. You don't pay respect to your parents. Where is the love? Every relationship has conditions. And where there is conditions, that is not love. You have to perform. That is performance. And if you don't perform, you don't receive what you think love is. That is conditional love.